Milton Friedman. Once visited in his house in San Francisco, and there was never a more sophisticated individual, thinker, considered thinker I should say, on the role of the free market, on the role of companies, on the role of business, and on the roles they play in society to maximise profits. We've heard a number of falsehoods immediately from the previous speaker. I mean, I don't know where they get the audacity to say in a forum, a public forum, that they think that we're all free marketeers now. I only think you need to look at the absurd attacks of our Prime Minister against so-called neoliberalism and its agenda and extreme capitalism and the whole greed is good mentality after the global financial crisis to know full well that that is just rubbish. We are not all free marketers now. This is a constant debate had by people who are prepared to say one thing and use it as a cloak for other agendas, for trying to rein in the capacity of private enterprise, individual enterprise, and adding costs and burdens for the failures of what they know that government cannot deliver and what that they are incapable or unwilling to deliver themselves. I face a lot of this actually, this absurd mystique, this myth image that we are all free marketeers now in the area that I focus a lot of my time in free trade. There are very few people I know in the world who say that they are opposed to free trade. There are some, but they are few. But most actually say, oh, I'm a free trader, comma, but, and then insert the list here of things that they actually want to do to stop the trade of goods and services across international boundaries. And there's also another fundamental falsehood that was based in the arguments of our opponents today. It is about the profit motive and that there is some sort of negative consequence associated with the profit motive. It is just absurd. What is the alternative? As Terry outlined, the costs of pursuing other activities, whether it is pursuing loss-making opportunities. I don't think anybody here does that. They don't do that. You don't do that with your own bank accounts. If you've got $1 to invest, let's go after the losses in the hope that we do some sort of social good. Because there is a benefit to creating profit. There's a benefit to creating profit because you take care of yourself. You take care of the business and those people who enjoy the benefits of that business. If you have a profitable business, you can employ people. And I think we all know that if there's a choice between employing people or having people sitting on welfare queues, whoever's going to pay for it when businesses aren't pursuing profits and paying tax, it's very clear that the benefit is to employ people. If you want innovation in the marketplace, if you want the accumulation of capital so that businesses can find and create new products for consumers, to decrease the cost of other products for other consumers, and then to capitalise on them, to take them from an idea, take them through the full commercialisation process to actually get you takes profits. Because it's speculation. That's what businesses do. They don't come up with this ephemeral amount of money that comes out of nowhere. They throw it towards this idea and then at some point people take chances about whether it's going to work or not. It takes money. It takes profits turned into commercialisation. And that is what the consequence of what they are espousing will deliver. And what we have today is this great new idea of what, and it's really started, what, about 10, 15 years ago, that taking the idea of the corporate social responsibility to something much better, something easier to use in public debate. It's called an acronym, CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility. Corporate social responsibility, my friends, is a farce. I know some of you will not agree with that. I know some of you are going to need some convincing on that, but it is a farce. Most of what we these days consume or believe is corporate social responsibility by private enterprises has nothing to do with taking care of the environment, taking care of the less privileged, helping people in poorer countries. It's called market positioning, and it's driven by the profit motive. Think about it. I go to the supermarket, and look, you're all about to learn something more about me you didn't know. I buy recycled toilet paper. I don't buy recycled toilet paper because it's cheaper. I buy it because I think of all the things I can do, of all the products that I use, there's probably something I value less in terms of the consequences than toilet paper. I mean, I'll leave it to your imagination about what's done with it. There's no benefit, I just want to use it and get it out of the way. But I also think that if I can recycle that, and in the process I can get some sort of broader social benefit out of it, hey, why not? But it goes much further than that. We have very elaborate systems of corporate social responsibility focused on how to make profits. Take fair trade. Now, I'm a big critic of fair trade, but there are lots of reasons why. I'm happy to chat about it afterwards. But fair trade is actually a marketing position. We have this apparent problem where people in the developing world aren't being paid enough to grow coffee. They're then being sold onto multinational corporations like Nestle, who then sell it at higher prices. They make profits, bad profits. And then you buy it at a price and not enough benefit then flows through to the producers. So what did people do? They saw the opportunity. They invested more money in being able to acquire a trademark, the Fair Trade Certification mark, so that their product would be more attractive to you, the consumer, who you've been educated by these organisations to believe actually is negative and has a negative consequence for you as an individual. You have taken that level of responsibility, bought the more expensive product to make sure that all the processes along the way are paid. That is corporate social responsibility, apparently, but it's entirely motivated by extracting as much money from you. And I could go on and on. They're everywhere. Think of carbon neutrality, but also think about the cost of taking a product from a normal product to make it carbon neutral. It takes money, it takes innovation, it takes commercialisation. All those things, again, that are developed and paid for by, do you want to say it? Profits. Thank you. You wouldn't dare interrupt. Thank you. The other criticism I have of corporate responsibility or corporate social responsibility is that it actually has a very real negative impact on our society. Business is there to provide goods and services to you and I. They like to use the term that it provides some sort of create value in society, I think was the exact words you use. But if you pass on your obligation in taking care of society, we live in a free society where individuals are supposed to take responsibility for their own lives, but also to help those less fortunate, as I do, as you do. That's why we give to charity and whatnot. By putting that obligation onto business, what do you have? You have one more step away of the obligation from yourself. We already see this in government, a distance relationship, a power relationship, a lack of obligation of you as an individual about whose job it is to take care of society. Think about homelessness, and most people will tell you, why doesn't the government do something about it? Well, if it becomes a responsibility of business, it's the second step to you obfuscating your responsibility. Business shouldn't be taking care of problems outside the profit motive. It delivers the social benefits we know, the economic benefits we know, and also stops you obfuscating your responsibility. Thank you very much.